Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Real Estate SEO. My name's Josh Guerra, and today is a continuation video of our SEO playbook, and we're going to be talking about Chapter 4, which is about website experience. So you're probably wondering, why is the site experience so important? And really the answer is simple, and it's because of two reasons. Like, number one, it's going to improve your ranking across the board. The better experience that you can deliver, the more rewards that Google tends to provide you. So Google is really in this proactive approach to ensuring that websites that are on the web are delivering a quality experience to users. They don't want to serve up a horrible experience to somebody. They want to give a meaningful experience to that user, and they've been very transparent with what matters most. And we're going to talk about that here in a moment. And the other reason, which to me is just about as important, is the fact that the better experience that you can deliver to your users, the higher likelihood of them inquiring to drive buyer and seller leads. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're choosing a web development provider that builds, real estate websites, that it meets and checks the boxes of everything that we're talking about here today. So the very first one is mobile friendly, or mobile friendliness, if you will. Google has been very transparent on this and actually provides tools that are out there on the web that are actually found on Google's website that will basically tell you if your website is mobile friendly and what you can improve upon on the mobile aspect to make sure the experience is optimal. So, there's been some studies out there, like by research.com and a few others, them specifically said 63% of all online traffic is now mobile. So now, more than ever, ensuring that your website is mobile friendly is extremely important. And that's why Google has been so aggressive to reward websites that are very mobile friendly. There's actually a coding framework that's out there called responsive design. And essentially what it does, it condenses down the website based upon the device that they're on. So it'll serve up a different experience on desktop or laptop versus an iPad or your mobile device. So it's ensuring that the actual experience is optimal based upon that specific device. So I would ask your providers, like, hey, look, do you guys have responsive design framework? And if so, that's wonderful. So really the next thing is that what I would encourage each of you to do is find Google's mobile friendly test tool out there and just run it yourself. And if you have a site already, just see if how your site performs in Google's eyes from a mobile friendliness perspective. So the next thing we'll talk about is fast load times. And as I mentioned before, this is another big thing that Google has been very proactive upon and has actually been extremely transparent. And when you think about it, put yourself in your own shoes for a moment. When's the last time you went on a website that was loading extremely slow and you're just like, I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm clicking the back button, right? Or I'm frustrated. I'm closing my phone because I don't want to deal with it. Or I'm closing my laptop, right? That happens a lot to me. I'm sure it does to you occasionally. So, having a fast loading website, it delivers experience, obviously, but it decreases bounce rate, and that's a big thing. So also, too, it's going to influence decision making, and it's going to actually lead to a lot more conversions. Probably a good rule of thumb is just make sure that the provider that you're on is doing a few things. They have light, fast code. They are utilizing a cloud-based hosting platform. And cloud-based is like, like Amazon or something like that. Basically, what a cloud-based hosting platform is that it's a cluster of servers that loads the website on a server that is in proximity to the user. It's fancy stuff, but just make sure they have it. And then really, you can actually load your website on a tool that's provided by Google. And that tool is called Page Speed Insights. And if you go on Google, type that in, plug your website in, and really just see where you fall. They will score you on 1 to 100 for mobile and desktop speed. So you'll be able to get a good gauge or a good metric of where you're at today, and then perhaps take that to your development company if it's not optimal and see if they can help you improve that. In many cases, they can. So, it's not end all be all. And I think that there's usually room for improvement there. And this is a very big signal to Google because it has to do with the architecture of your website. And again, they're all about experience. So the next one, honestly, I think we all kind of saw this coming. This has also been very transparent to Google. And they're really in this big movement to secure and lock down the internet. And it really has to do with how much fraud is out there and how many people steal identities and things like that. And you want to make sure that you're utilizing a secure website, and it's very simple to identify. It's called an SSL certificate, and SSL stands for Secure Socket Layer. And it's very easy to see. In the address bar of your web browser, does it have a little lock on it? And then does it have in the address HTTPS? If it does, then your website is secure. If it doesn't, I would be picking up the phone tomorrow and asking your website provider to be able to ensure that they can install an SSL certificate to make sure your website is secure. This is a huge, huge algorithm update by Google. It was a long time ago, probably a few years ago. And, they're very serious about locking down the internet and providing a secure experience, to their users. So the next one is just search usability. This is more along the lines of how your website functions. So giving the ability to the user to, easily filter results, make it easy to search on all devices, especially I've noticed this a lot on the homepage of most of the real estate websites out there. They do a decent job at it, but there are occasions where I see it's kind of below the fold. So when you do a search on your mobile device, make sure that search bar is visible as soon as that page loads. You don't want to have them scroll down in order to find that search result, that search form. You want to make sure it's above the fold when they see it as soon as that page loads on their mobile device. Also too, if you have listing pages where, maybe you're targeting a specific community or a specific city and you drop in, search results, make sure that those pages aren't just showing results. Make sure they have the ability to filter directly on those pages the results that are actually laid out before them. So if you're showing a community in Sedona called Seven Canyons, which I refer to in a lot of my videos just because it's easy, make sure that they can filter the results for Seven Canyons directly off of that page. Or if you're showing a page for golf course, properties, give them the ability to filter. Okay. It's huge. The last thing you want to just show them endless scrolling results, on these pages and not being able to sift through them and find exactly what they want to see. They're going to leave the site. They're going to get frustrated. And then really just last but not least, make it easy for them to inquire. Yeah, it's funny. I see this a lot too, where, it's sometimes hard to even find the contact pages. Make sure you're going through your website and make sure that you're utilizing, good call to action, good contact forms. Make sure the buttons stand out. Make sure they're a bright color, and really just make it easy for them to inquire. A lot of times people will choose aesthetics over conversion optimization, and I think that's, really shooting yourself in the foot. Why have a nice website if it doesn't convert? So there's a couple articles that I wrote that if you go to realestateseo.com and go to our blog, there's actually some articles that I have on there that will give you some nice, wonderful tactics that you can utilize to increase the conversion rate optimization on your websites. So anyways, like I said, this video is going to be short and sweet, but it's down to the point, and you got to make sure you have these elements on your website, and especially if you're going to be doing SEO. Otherwise, forget it. So anyways, hope you found this helpful, and until next time on the next episode of Real Estate SEO, we'll see you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.